Good afternoon, all of you. Yesterday we were discussing common drain amplifier, otherwise called as source follower. Let us have a revision again, once again, how we can derive those performance parameters of a source follower. So why this configuration is called source follower? Because we are taking the output across the source. Okay, output is following the source terminal, as you can see in the circuit diagram. Output is following the source, which is almost equal to your input. So you can say that this is a unity gain amplifier. We will not expect high gain for such types of configurations. Okay. So this is basically a unity gain amplifier, which means your output is exactly following the source terminal, which is further equal to your input, which means that the output by input ratio is very small, or you can say that this is a unity gain amplifier. It is closer to 1 or just above 1. That's it. So there is no much high gain we can expect from this particular configuration. And here you can see your input is given to the gate terminal and output is taken across a source through a coupling capacitor and the load resistance. Of course, just like the previous circuits, here we have used a constant current source at the source terminal for the biasing purpose, which is connected to minus VSS, and the drain is directly connected to VDD. Unlike the common source or common gate configuration, we have not used any drain resistance here. Why? Because we are concentrating our output at the source. So that is why we have not connected any drain resistance to the supply voltage VDD, whereas the input side is similar. The input to be amplified is given to the gate terminal through a signal resistance and a coupling capacitor, and you can see a resistance RG connected between the gate and ground, across which I have taken the voltage VA. So after considering the drop across R signal, we have denoted the voltage VI because some fraction of the voltage will get dropped across R sig, and the remaining fraction of the voltage of your input V sig is up coming across RG, that is denoted by VA. So to derive the performance parameters like input resistance, output resistance, gain, open circuit voltage gain, overall voltage gain, all those things, what we have to do is we have to convert this into a T equivalent circuit. Okay. So to convert into a small signal T equivalent circuit, you will have to follow all our protocols. That is the CC1 and CC2. All the capacitors will appear short circuited, and all the DC current source and voltage source will get deactivated. So minus VSS, VDD, and current I. All these three sources will become zero or deactivated. And further, we can draw our circuit as shown this, and already I have explained this. So please note that whenever you are drawing a small signal equivalent T equivalent circuit specifically, what we have to do is we will insert a dependent current source at the drain terminal, and you can see the drain is directly grounded here because in your original diagram drain was connected to the supply voltage VDD, but here that VDD has got deactivated, and in fact we have replaced that VDD with ground. And also you can see between the gate and source terminal, we have replaced our current source with an internal resistance of 1 by Gm. This resistance is nothing but 1 divided by transconductance, that is Gm. So this is as per your T equivalent model. Okay. Now, why RL is connected to source? Because I'm taking the output across the source, and in source we are having RL. Okay, we have short circuited our CC2, right? We have short circuited our CC2. So obviously RL will connect towards source, and across which I'm taking my output V0. And for the analysis purpose, we have already considered the effect of small letter R0, that is the channel modulation effect. Okay. So we have an internal resistance R0 between our input and output terminal. Here input is, output terminal. Output terminal is drain and source. Output circuit is across drain and source. So across output circuit, we are having the internal resistance, which is designated as small letter R0, where I is your AC signal current flowing through your drain to source terminal. Okay. So to proceed with, first let us discuss what is Rn. Rn is a input resistance which is obtained after looking through your input terminal. Here you can see directly, if you discard Rsig, the only resistance that is being connected to the gate is Rg. Okay. So we can write Rn is equal to Rg. Why I am not taking 1 by Gm along with Rg? Because 1 by Gm is connected to the source as well. Okay. Here we have given our input to the gate terminal. So we have to consider only Rg and not Rsig. So the input resistance that is obtained after looking into the gate terminal is Rg alone. So we will consider Rg as our input resistance simply by observation and without any analysis. Now let us relate my input with VSIG. I told you Vi is not exactly equal to VSIG because we are expecting some voltage drop across RSIG, right? So RSIG and RG will constitute a voltage divider network. Therefore, after applying the voltage divider rule, we got the expression for Vi which is equal to VSIG into RG divided by RSIG plus RG that already we have written yesterday. Let it be equation number 1. So only if we are maintaining the signal resistance very much less when compared to the gate resistance Rg, then we can approximate Vi equal to V6. So let it be equation number 2. Now, to find the voltage gain, we are trying to redrawing this particular T equivalent circuit in such a way that I have kept RL and R0 parallel to each other. So in this modified circuit diagram, we have kept RL and R0 parallel to each other. Why? Because it is understood that R0 is connected between source and drain, and here also the RL is connected between source and ground, whereas this ground is also coming towards the drain terminal. So you can say the two terminals of both the resistance have been shared mutually. Therefore, RL and R0 can be connected as parallel like this. And remaining things and all let us say as such. Now, if you see the circuit diagram, again, we can say that the voltage, whatever I have shown across RG, that is Vi, that is coming to this particular node, right? Because this is short circuit. So whatever we are getting at this particular node, we will get at G as well. And these two resistances, along with small letter R0, these three resistances together, they act as the voltage divider network. So again, we can relate the equation between V0 and Vi because Vi is the overall input coming across this gate and ground, whereas V0 is a partial voltage that is taken across this two networks, that is RL parallel R0. So again, by applying the voltage divider rule, we can write the equation as V0 is equal to the total input voltage Vi coming across the gate terminal with respect to ground into the resistance which we are focusing because across which we are taking our output. That is why it came in the numerator divided by the sum of the resistances, that is 1 by Gm plus the parallel effect. So 1 by Gm plus RL parallel R0. So to derive the expression for voltage gain, we have to take this Vi to the left hand side. So we got the ratio, that is equation number 3. So this also we have written yesterday. Now from this we are going to derive the open circuit voltage gain AV0. Open circuit voltage gain is nothing but the voltage gain that we are expecting whenever we are not connecting our load resistance to the output terminal, which means your output is open circuited. Okay, so in that case, we can neglect the effect of RL because we have not connected any load to the amplifier. So RL can be neglected. So the equation will become R0 divided by R0 plus 1 by GM. Now, if the value of R0 is very much greater than RL, right? If the value of R0 is greater than RL, then equation number 3 can be modified as AV is equal to RL divided by RL plus 1 by GM. How I have written this is because, see, if two resistances are parallel means the effective resistance will be approximately equal to the largest, I mean the smallest one, approximately equal to the smallest one. So if I'm taking a low load resistance, okay, the load resistance is of very low value when compared to R0, then the cumulative effect of RL parallel R0 can be approximated as RL alone. That is the lowest value, right? For example, 1 ohm and 100 ohm, if it is parallelly connected means the effective value is 1 ohm only. That is, effective value will be equivalent to the smallest value. So here I have assumed that if I'm taking a low value load resistance when compared to the output resistance R0, then RL parallel R0 can be approximated as RL. So thereby we have written this AV, and we know that 1 by GM value is always very small. So that RL by RL will be 1:1. Therefore, we can say that the voltage gain of a typical source follower will be unity. Okay, it will not that is, it will not offer much higher gain, and it will be very much closer to unity or just above unity. That is a property of a source follower. So when compared to the conventional common source amplifier, the gain offered by a source follower will be very less. Now, but the input impedance, what about the input resistance? Input resistance here, it is Rg, which is equivalent to your common source, whereas in common gate, it was 1 by Gm, that was very small. So input resistance of a common gate amplifier is very less, whereas for a common source and for a source follower, it is high. Now coming to the next parameter. So from this, we have to derive today. So I think we have explained till equation number 5 yesterday. Now we will proceed with overall voltage gain. Now, what will be the difference between the normal voltage gain AV and overall voltage gain, which is denoted as GV? We know that overall voltage gain is a ratio between V0 to Vsig. So instead of putting V0 by Vi, now we are focusing on V0 by Vsig. That is the overall output by the entire input or the actual input, whatever we are giving to our amplifier, that is your Vsig. Okay. As of now, we got the relationship between Vi and Vsig. Already we have written from equation number 1, you can rearrange Vsig in terms of Vi. Okay, so what I will do is, instead of Vsig in the left hand side of GV, I will put it as Vi multiplied by Rg plus Rsig divided by Rg. You just rearrange this, cross multiply, and write Vsig in terms of Vi. So Vsig can be replaced as, right? Vsig can be replaced as Vi into Rg plus Rsig by Rg from equation number 1. And already we have computed V0 by Vi ratio, which is nothing but AV. Already we have done with V0 by Vi ratio, which is nothing but AV, that is the voltage gain. So we can say that GV is AV times of Rg by Rg plus Rsig. So overall voltage gain will be less than the original voltage gain, because you can see the denominator will be more than the numerator. So the entire fraction goes less. GV will be less than AV. Now what is AV? Already we have derived the expression for AV from equation number 3. Substitute this equation, general equation of AV, in equation number 6 and get the result for GV. AV is RL parallel R0 divided by RL parallel R0 plus 1 by Gm. So that equation you will substitute in equation number 6, so that you got the expression for overall voltage gain GV. Any doubts, students? So you have to see like which voltage I have to write in which terms. That is, in your mind, it should be there. GV is the ratio of V0 by Vsig. So in that way, you have to write it in terms of V0 by Vsig. So wherever you are finding Vsig, you have to replace it with Vi, because already you got the ratio V0 by Vi, right? So that you can substitute. AV you can substitute in GV and rewrite the result. Now coming to the last parameter, that is the output resistance. Output resistance means here output is taken across a source. Output is taken across the source. So tell me what will be the output resistance. You can see at the source we are having 1 by Gm and R0, but please be aware that we will not take RL whenever we are calculating the output resistance, isn't it? So if we discard RL from our analysis, it is obvious that 1 by Gm and R0 comes to the picture, and this you can short circuit, right? Whenever we are dealing with the calculation of output resistance, we will short circuit the source and see that these two are interconnected each other and that they are parallel. If you replace this as a, I mean, if you discard this, okay, equivalent circuit. You might have done in the network theory and all. That is, while calculating the Thevenin's resistance or Norton's resistance, whatever it may be, the equivalent resistance can be computed by discarding all the sources, right? So in that case, at the source terminal, we are having 1 by Gm as well as R0, and that will be appear parallel to each other. And out of which we know that 1 by Gm is less than R0. So the equivalent can be approximated as 1 by Gm. The equivalent can be approximated as 1 by Gm. So this is a benefit of the source follower, where this particular circuit is having high input impedance and very low output resistance. High input resistance because Rn is equal to Rg, that is high value, whereas the output resistance Rout is 1 by Gm, which is of less value, which is ideal for any amplifier as well as for buffering action. So why this is typically used for buffering? Buffering in the sense, there is no change in your output because it is providing a unity gain. There is no much amplification is imparted by this particular circuit. Almost you can say that V0 is equal to Vsig. Whatever we have applied VC, that is getting across the load as well. And also we are offering high input and less output resistance. That is very much ideal for a buffering circuit. Okay, buffering in the sense same output is being retained. Okay, so if you want to connect the two terminals together, that is one output of one circuit to the input of the another circuit, in that case, this can be considered as an intermediate buffering circuit because it is offering that impedance matching, right? That high input impedance and lower output impedance. That is very much ideal to couple the entire input value to the output terminal because Vi is equal to Vsig. I mean V0 is equal to Vsig, right? Without any amplification, we are giving the entire input to the next stage. That is what is called buffering action. So the main application of source follower is buffering amplifier, buffering action with the unity gain constant. Okay, so the gain is unity and the application is buffering, and it is offering high input resistance and low output resistance. That is very ideal feature of a buffer. So out of the three configuration, which will be the most preferred value? I mean, most preferred configuration, it will be common source. And if you want to control the gain and stable the gain, then you have to insert the source resistance also. And already we had discussed the effect of inserting a source resistance because the gain will be decreased by 1 plus Gm into Rs times. And the effect of Rs also, it will act as a degenerative feedback and which will not allow the drain current, the DC current to be shifted. That means the Q point will be stable. Okay. So the most ideal configuration will be common source only. In that we had discussed two cases. One is without RS and second one is with RS. But we will prefer for practical purposes, we will prefer with RS case. Why we are preferring with RS case? Because inserting RS will always give stability to the gain and also the Q point will become stable and there is no tendency for the Q point to shift towards cutoff region or towards the triode region in spite of giving your input AC signal. That is, once we have fixed the bias, still if you give this input signal in the allowable limit, you will not be having any shift in the Q point. That is because of the action of degenerative action of the resistance RS that we have discussed in module 1 in the types of biasing techniques. Okay, so the most ideal configuration that we'll use in amplification purpose is the common source configuration with RS. Okay, so that is all with module 2. Now we have 2 to 3 problems pending to do. Okay, so this particular problem is very important for your CIE as well. So please take down this figure and the question. So you are provided this figure. This is a biasing circuit for an amplifier. This is not an amplifier. If it is an amplifier, means it should have the input, it should have the coupling capacitance, CC1, CC2, the load resistance, all those things should be there. But this is just a DC biasing circuit that is applicable for a common source amplifier. Okay. So this is just a biasing circuit, a DC biasing circuit that we have only shown the DC signals, the DC voltages and DC current source. So this is a biasing circuit which is to be applied for a CS amplifier to be designed. Clear? So all of you draw this figure and the question that is following it. Consider a CS amplifier based on the above DC circuit. Consider a CS amplifier based on the above DC circuit. Full stop. Find R in, R out, and AV naught. Find R in, R out, and AV naught, both without and with R naught. Both without and with R naught. Consider a CS amplifier based on the above DC circuit. Find R in, R out, and AV naught, both without and with R naught. Full stop. Calculate the overall voltage gain GV. Calculate the overall voltage gain GV. With R0 taken into account. With R0 taken into account. For the case R6 equal to 100 kilo ohm, R6 equal to 100 kilo ohm, RL equal to 15 kilo ohm. Full stop. If V6 is equal to 0.4 volt peak to peak, if V6 is equal to 0.4 volt peak to peak, what output signal V0 results? What output signal V0 results? Given Kn dash W by L is equal to 1 milliampere per volt square, and VA is the early voltage. VA is equal to 75 volt, which means we have to consider R0 for some cases. VA equal to 75 volt. So try to understand the concept of the question and what and all we need to find out. So please understand that this is not the amplifier circuit. This is basically a DC circuit that is going to apply for this amplifier that we are going to design. I mean, we are going to analyze, not design, analyze. Because all the parameters have been given. So simply we have to take those results for CS amplifier, whatever we have derived. In that we have to substitute and get the answers. That's it. Okay. So for this particular DC circuit, we have to find R in, R out, AV naught. R in is the input resistance, R out is output resistance, AV naught is the open circuit voltage gain. So we have to find these three parameters for both the cases. Both the cases in the sense with R0 and without R0. So we have to first find what is R0 value. Okay. To find R0 value, we have to get the early voltage and capital ID. Isn't it? We have already discussed the equation of R0. R0 is nothing but VA divided by ID. R0 is VA divided by ID. So once we get that equation, okay, R0 is equal to VA by ID. Already VA is given to us, and ID is nothing but your 0.5 milliamps. Capital ID is your bias current, drain current, that is 0.5 milliampere. So if you know the value of ID and VA is also given to you, then easily you can find small letter R0, which is nothing but your internal resistors. So we have to find these three parameters, R in, R out, and AV0 for both with and without R0 cases. Clear? See, this question is very important. If you have any doubts in between, you can post me and ask. So after this, what we have to do is we have to calculate the overall voltage gain GV. Again, that GV is being calculated with R0. It is with R0. and all the parameters is given to you. RSig. Okay, recall the circuit diagram of a common source amplifier. In that we are having a signal resistance, we are having the load resistance, and we need the threshold, this K dash W by L value, then the early voltage value, and also finally we have to find the output signal V0 for a given input value. The input is 0.4 volt peak to peak. So once we know the gain, we can easily find the output value V0, right? Because Vsig is already 0.4 volt peak to peak. So if you know the value of GV, that is overall voltage gain GV, we can easily find V0 because GV is nothing but V0 by Vsig. Already Vsig is given to you. So our objective is to find GV. Once you got GV, you can just simply multiply the given input voltage, signal voltage with GV so that you will get the output signal. I hope the question is very much clear for you. Any doubts in the question, students? Can I proceed with the answer? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
So let us first discuss our case one. Why I am dividing it in case one and case two? Because already it is mentioned R and R out and V naught. I have to find out for with and without R0 cases. So let us go with first case. First case here it is mentioned without R0. So take without R0 case. Without R0 case. And take your notebook. In that, take the common source amplifier. Last class note, common source amplifier without source resistance case. Why I am taking without source resistance? Because nothing is mentioned regarding RS here. So take our first derivation, common source amplifier without source resistance. In that, find out the equation for R in, R out and AV naught. One of you can help me. Take that lecture note portion, that is derivation of common source amplifier without RS case. That is first derivation. In that, what is the expression for Rn? Please take your note and check and tell me the equation for Rn. Rn is equal to Rg, right? So directly here Rg is given, that is the resistance connected to the gate terminal, it is 4.7 mega ohm. So we can write the answer as such. Rn equal to Rg equal to 4.7 mega ohm. Now find the equation for R out. Find the equation for R out. The derivation, what is the result for R out? I think you have consolidated all the results in one box at the end. Please check it and tell me what is the result for R out. Yes. R out is, I think it is RD parallel R0, right? So in that I will neglect R0 because here I have not considered R0. Isn't it, Nikita? R out is?
So what's up?
Actually, what is the result of R out?
R out equals RD, sir.
RD. Okay. So if I'm considering R0 means it will be RD parallel R0. But right now we will go with R out is equal to RD. Without R0 case means R out is equal to RD. And RD is also given to you in the question. It is 15 kilo ohm. So that also we can write directly. Now, next is the voltage gain, open circuit voltage gain AV naught. Please recall the concept of open circuit voltage gain. Open circuit voltage gain means the voltage gain without the load resistance. As per our derivation, the voltage gain is minus Gm into Rd parallel RL. In that I will neglect RL because AV's equation is minus Gm into Rd parallel RL, but I will not take RL into our consideration. So I will neglect this, so that equation will become minus Gm into Rd alone. Okay. And also R0 is also neglected. Otherwise, R0 should be there here. It will be R0 parallel RL parallel RD. Here, this is without R0 case. So I need to take only RD in this particular equation. So minus GM into RD. But to find this, I need this. GM is not given in your question. GM is not given in the question. You know only RD. So to find AV naught, I have to find GM. So let us check the derivation of GM. Already I have derived the derivation of GM. 3 separate equations we have derived. That is very, very important. So in that, we have taken one equation out of 3. We have taken one equation in which we know all the 3 parameters. So that is this equation you can take down. GM is equal to square root of 2 Kn dash W by L into root of ID. Root of 2 Kn dash root of W by L into root of ID. So all the parameters is given to you. So if you substitute, your answer will be 1 volt per milliamps. Why milliampere? Because ID is 0.5 milliampere and conductance means it is voltage by current. That is why the unit is volt per milliamp. So once you get this, yes, once you get this value, you can substitute here and find AV naught. So it is just 1 into what RD. RD is 15 kilo ohm. No need to convert. Why? Because one is in milliampere, the other one is in kilo ohm. So it will get cancelled. Milliamps and kiloamps. 10 to the power minus 3 and 10 to the power 3 will get cancelled. So your answer will be 15 minus 15. And there is no unit for gain. It will be V by V. Volt per volt means it will get cancelled. So the answer is minus 15. That will be your answer for AV. So the gain of open circuit voltage gain of this particular amplifier without R0 case. Yes, GM is equal to 1 milliampere per volt. GM is a volt per milliampere. Sorry. Milliampere per volt, correct. V is equal to I into R, I is equal to, yeah, correct. Here it is milliampere per volt, okay. You correct it, milliampere per volt. I by V, right? It is conductance. Conductance means I by V, milliampere per volt. Yes. So milliampere and yes, here I have mentioned clearly. It is milliampere. So this milliampere and kilo ohm will get cancelled. And it will be minus 50. Is that clear? AV naught is clear for you, right? Now we have finished with case 1 and we have calculated R in, R out and AV naught as per our question. Now we will come with the second case. Second case means it is with R0. Case 2 with R0. So tell me the expression for Rn. There is no change for Rn because R0 basically this R0 will affect our output resistance. So there is no change for Rn because R0 is connected with respect to drain and source. So Rn remains the same, that is Rg itself. So you can write the same value, 4.7 mega ohm. Whereas R out, unlike the previous case I have considered only RD as R out, but now we are trying to incorporate the effect of small letter R0 as well. So R out is equal to R0 parallel RD, but R0 is unknown for us, so we have to find R0. R0 is VA divided by ID. R0 is VA divided by ID, that is early voltage divided by the DC drain current. AD voltage is 75 volt and DC drain current is given in the question, that is 0.5 milliampere, that is our current source value. So after simplification, you got answer as 150 kilo ohm because milliampere will come to the numerator and it will be kilo ohm. After finding R0, you can find R out. That is parallel of R0 parallel RD, that is 150 parallel 15. Check the answer. 150 parallel 15, that is 150 into 15 divided by 150 plus 15. R1 into R2 divided by R1 plus R2. So your answer will be 13.6 kilo ohm. So this is your output resistance. Here also AV naught. After finding R out, next we will go with AV naught. AV naught equation is minus GM into RD, right? Without R0, it was minus GM into RD. But after incorporating the result of R0, your equation will become minus GM into RD parallel R0. We have to add this also. So here also it is minus 1 volt milliampere per volt into 1